What is the purpose of life? A question as old as humanity itself, one that every person answers differently. Some spend their lives searching for meaning. Others spend their lives chasing it. Every dream, every sacrifice, every struggle, driven by the belief that something waits at the end of the road, something that makes it all worthwhile. For some people, the answer is love, a hand to hold, a shoulder to lean on, someone who makes even the hardest days feel bearable. For others, the answer is success, recognition, achievement, the satisfaction of standing at the top after years of effort. And for many, the answer is happiness, a simple life, a peaceful family, moments worth remembering. If you found any of those things, then congratulations. You've already discovered what millions spend their entire lives searching for. But not everyone is given that luxury. Some people begin their journey with nothing, no opportunities, no safety net, no guarantees, only desperation. The world rarely notices desperation. It hides behind tired smiles, behind unpaid bills, behind people who continue moving forward because stopping isn't an option. For the poor, life becomes simple, not because they wanted to, because reality leaves them no choice. Wake up, work, survive, sleep, repeat. Every day becomes a battle against time, against debt, against hunger, against uncertainty. A child learns to work before learning to dream. A mother counts coins she already knows aren't enough. A laborer sacrifices his body to earn tomorrow's meal. And somewhere, an elderly woman lies awake at night, wondering how much longer she can hold on. When someone you love is suffering, money becomes something far greater than paper. It becomes medicine. It becomes security. It becomes hope. And for one young man, hope was becoming harder to find. His name was Hyun Lee, 19 years old, poor, unknown, invisible to almost everyone around him. The city moved without him. Millions of people passed him every day. Not one of them knew his name. But Hyun refused to accept the future life had prepared for him. He refused to remain trapped at the bottom. Every morning he looked toward the skyline, not because he admired it, because he wanted to reach it. Then one day, something caught his attention. A name, a promise, a dream, Royal Road, the most popular virtual reality game in the world, a world where ordinary people could become kings, heroes, legends. At least, that's what the advertisements claimed. Most people saw entertainment. Hyun saw possibility, because when you have nothing, even the smallest opportunity shines like treasure. As the sun began to set, Hyun made his way home, away from the shining towers, away from the advertisements, away from the illusion of prosperity. The deeper he walked into the district, the older the buildings became, the narrower the streets became, the poorer the people became. Eventually, he arrived home, a tiny house hidden among aging walls and broken concrete. Small, old, falling apart, but it was home. Inside waited the person who mattered most, his grandmother, the woman who had raised him, the woman who had sacrificed everything so he could survive. Even now, her body continued to weaken. Every movement caused pain. Every day became more difficult than the last. Yet she still smiled when she saw him. And for a moment, the weight on Hyun's shoulders felt lighter. That day he carried good news. An identification card. To most people, a piece of plastic, nothing more. To Hyun, it represented freedom, adulthood, opportunity, a future. At last he could begin searching for legitimate work. At last he could start helping his family. But one concern remained. His younger sister, Hae-yuna, missing again, running around with the wrong crowd. The kind of people who brought trouble wherever they went. His grandmother only had one request: protect her, no matter what. Hyun promised he would, because family was all they had left. Later that night, he returned to his room. Tomorrow would be important. Tomorrow he would begin changing his life. But before tomorrow arrived, there was one thing he wanted to do. One final game. The glow of the monitor illuminated the room. A familiar screen appeared. World of Magic. The game he had spent years playing, years building, years mastering. Within that world, he wasn't poor. He wasn't invisible. He wasn't powerless. He was Weed, one of the strongest players ever created. But real life was waiting. Jobs, responsibilities, reality. And so Hyun made a decision. He would sell the account. One click. That's all it took. A simple action. A simple choice. One he would remember for the rest of his life. Then he went to sleep, completely unaware of what was happening. Because while Hyun slept, the internet exploded. Players across the country stared at their screens in disbelief. Forums erupted. Gaming cafes filled with shouting voices. People thought it was fake until they realized it wasn't. The legendary account was real. The strongest warrior in World of Magic. For sale, news spread faster than wildfire. Soon, even the game's developers heard about it. Emergency meetings were called. Executives gathered. Marketing teams sprang into action. They understood something important. This wasn't an auction anymore. This was history. Notifications were sent. VIP members were contacted. High spenders received personal alerts. The richest players in the world took notice. Millionaire, business owners, collectors, people who viewed money as competition. The bidding began. 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, 500 million. The numbers climbed higher and higher and higher. Players watched in disbelief. Developers watched in disbelief. Even the bidders themselves struggled to comprehend what they were seeing. The auction transformed into a battlefield. Not a battle for power, not a battle for wealth, a battle for prestige. Because whoever owned Weed's account would own a legend. Hours passed. The price continued rising. Then the impossible happened. 3 billion won. Silence followed. The auction ended. History had been made. And the person responsible slept through all of it. Morning arrived. Sunlight entered Hyun's room. His phone vibrated endlessly. Still half asleep, he answered. A professional voice greeted him. The auction had concluded. The funds had already been transferred. Hyun barely paid attention. He expected a few thousand won, maybe enough to cover a few expenses. Nothing more. Then he asked the question, how much? The answer came calmly, 3,090,000,000 won. For several seconds, his brain stopped working. The number felt impossible, ridiculous, absurd. Surely it had to be a prank. There was no way a game account could sell for that much. No way. Annoyed, he ended the call. Then he checked the website. The page loaded. The auction results appeared. And there it was. 3,090,000,000 won. Real. Every digit. Every zero. Every impossible number. Real. Heartbeat accelerated. His hands trembled. His breathing stopped. In a single night, the future he feared had disappeared. The debts, the uncertainty, the struggle, everything had changed. Because the poorest person in the room had just become one of the richest. To be continued. Follow for more.